While Pokemon games have had a ton of spin-offs, it's unlikely that a lot of fans ever expected them to be the sole stars of a fighting game. Yet here it is with Pokkén Tournament, developed by Bandai Namco, and while there aren't very many known details, that won't stop us from putting it through the old analysis machine to see what secrets and hidden details that we could find. So let's take a closer look. The trailer begins with Lucario facing down Machamp. At first, based on this trailer and the single screen that was released a year ago, it seems like only fighting-type Pokemon would be available, but a Q&A session with one of the developers has confirmed that it won't be limited to that type, or even Pokemon's final evolutions. Not only that, but the game won't be limited to just humanoid Pokemon either, which would make this incredibly unique. Adding to that idea is the fact that a high, mid, low guard system will not be in the game, likely owing to the wide variety of sizes and shapes that can be found in Pokemon. But this still leaves a lot of questions. Will Pokemon typing come into play and cause more damage? And will Pokemon be limited to only 4 moves like in the games? While we have no idea to what the answer to the first question will be, we do think we can answer the second. We went through each move that both Lucario and Machamp performed to see if we could match them up with a move they can learn in Generation 6 of Pokemon. It's entirely possible that we're misidentifying them or even that they just happen to look alike, but it's interesting all the same. For example, as soon as Lucario moves, we have to wonder if that's actually an attack rather than a simple dash. The fact that his aura appears in his hand could mean this is a new form of quick attack or extreme speed. The rest of both his and Machamp's moves seem like this too. Lucario does a charge attack soon after that could be Force Palm or Focus Punch, but Machamp is able to block it, yet it still makes him stagger. However, Machamp is able to shift backwards to avoid Lucario's low sweep. Machamp seems to be much slower than Lucario, but more than likely hits harder. The match continues with Machamp's counterattack, which seems to take the form of a karate chop, then a combo attack in the form of close combat, before finishing with a cross chop. Lucario responds by performing an aerial attack that might be high jump kick before transitioning into an aura sphere. The next set of fight footage is a little trickier to identify. Lucario performs an overhead kick, but there's nothing in his move list that even seems close to that. The same could be said of an attack where he summons an aura-based staff before striking multiple times with it. However, it is possible that this could be an aura form of Bone Rush. Lucario's next attack is the Aura Sphere, but this time we can clearly see that it has range to it. Meanwhile, Machamp's multi-punch attack could be the Bullet Punch, while his shoulder charge looks similar to a Body Slam. The spin attack though is incredibly difficult to place. It would make sense if it was Rapid Spin, but Machamp can't learn that move at all. Lucario's next set of moves looks to be his version of Close Combat, while the Aura Blades he sends out might be an aura form of his Fury Cutter. Unfortunately, when it comes to Machamp's final moves, we can't quite place them. His uppercut seems completely unique, though it's possible that his jumping maneuver could be a powered up cross chop. Finally, his overhead strike is hard to place too. At the very least, it doesn't look like Pokemon will be limited to just 4 moves. That is, unless the footage is taken from multiple fights. But we do know that Mega Evolutions will be in the game as Mega Lucario leaps toward the camera at the very end. This could actually be a kind of super move that the Pokemon who can Mega Evolve can perform, much like other fighting games. But it's not just the fighters that hold some mystery, it's the setting as well. The place where the two fight is incredibly detailed as the fight goes on. Just on the surface level though, we can see plenty of trees, windmills, and cabins. One even has a water wheel attached for the nearby river that flows through. Nearby is a signpost with arrows pointing in 3 different directions, and there's a multi-level building in the background as well that could be a more realistic interpretation of a science lab. It's the small details that are really impressive though. One house has laundry hanging out to dry and a ladder leading up to the roof. Flowers are growing all over, and there's a farm with silos and some hay bales. At one point we can see a blimp flying over the town advertising something. We attempted to translate the words on the blimp, but they appear to be in a Pokemon language rather than Japanese. It's a shame too, as we're really curious what this sign is for that has a message board nearby. Could the house on the other side be a ranch or a schoolhouse? Or maybe even a Pokemon daycare? As the match goes on, we get to see even more of the surroundings. We can see the river's source flowing down from a small waterfall, and nearby is a cave entrance. Following the river leads to a bridge. Looking at all this, we have to wonder, where is the limits to the fighting arena? Usually walls are set up or a ring out system is in place for 3D fighters, but there's nothing that fits that mold here outside of a few small fences. Will there be simply invisible walls, or will these be some truly massive arenas? It may be that the different arenas will have various sizes to them. We get a small look at another arena in the form of a volcano, but there seems to be a clear edge when it comes to the flowing lava. But of course, this could only be a small corner of the arena. This volcano is just as detailed as the village, as we can see not only lava flowing from various points, but a Macargo hanging around in the background. There looks to be another Pokemon hanging to the wall, but it's too blurry to fully identify. Finally, we have to wonder if these arenas are based on actual locations from the games. If they are, we believe that the small village could either be New Bark Town based on the windmills and the apparent presence of a Pokemon lab, or Floxessie Town and Ranch. This would explain all the farm equipment in nearby town. However, neither of these matches exactly, so if we do happen to be right, it seems we can expect a lot of changes to the layout. Meanwhile, the volcano is likely either Mount Chimney or Reversal Mountain from White 2, though it's difficult to be completely sure since we have such a limited look. In the end, it's a shame that Pokkén Tournament has only been confirmed for Japanese arcades so far. It looks to be a fighter that really does aim to put you in full control of these Pokemon and their world. We'll definitely be on the lookout for more information, but in the meantime, if we missed anything, be sure to let us know in the comments. If you liked this video, be sure to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at GameXplain to keep up with everything we do. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Pokemon and other things gaming too.